My take today takes note of the budding of what I can only call the single-party movement. I mean, how else can one explain the frenzied convergence of hitherto independent parties at Jubilee Party headquarters in Pangani? The ritual of signing corporation documents, shaking hands, and exchanging other niceties in sudden realization of ideological brotherhood and political camaraderie. When Chama cha Mashinani, CCM, met Jubilee yesterday, and before that, Wiper Party did the bear hug, it was something akin to a reunion of siblings. In short, the images coming out of Pangani cannot in any way fit the description of a robust multi-party democracy. It's been a whole 28 years since the repeal of Section 2A and the return of multi-party politics. But lately, our parties are displaying serious symptoms of a hangover of the single-party era. But then they all seem to fall short of doing the honest thing, and that is of forming a party of shared beliefs. And that party, this take suggests, should have a name like the Single-Party Movement of Kenya. And as they do that, Kenyans who celebrated the return to multi-party politics, a return to an environment of competing political ideas, a return to a space that allows alternative leadership, alternative ideas to thrive, those Kenyans should mourn. Because here is the health report of our multi-party system. It is sick. Kenyans should mourn also tonight because there is no opposition. Do you remember that thing about a watchdog, about holding government to account? Well, in its place, we have a huge national bear hug of leaders and parties that suddenly realize that there's nothing that ever separated them in the first place. The very fundamentals of a multi-party democracy are lying on the political equivalent of a high-dependency unit, as HDU. I would want to hope that I'm right, that only two political practitioners are allowed into that HDU. That's President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, whose handshake, by the way, appears to have initiated a series of political events that now include an unbelievable outpouring of love for government. By my last count this evening, the opposition benches are virtually empty as the entire landscape turns to one huge party of government. Here's another reason Kenyans should mourn. You see, in just over 24 months from now, most of these parties will come to you with purportedly different manifestos. They will tell you how bad the last 5 years have been and how heavenly the next 5 years will be if given a chance. But they will not mention the blind bear hug. I can't help but wonder what future sessions of the Public Accounts Committee, that's the PAC in Parliament, would look like, let alone sound like. You see, the Houses of Parliament are equipped with committees and departments that have been created to promote accountability, transparency, and good governance in a multi-party setup. PAC, for example, is traditionally headed by an appointee of the official opposition. It is the main public spending watchdog. They are supposed to hold government to strict account on all matters related to governance, recurrent and development expenditure. Now, when the committee is headed by a pro-government chair, it is simply ridiculous to suggest the notion of accountability. And the same is true of the Public Investments Committee, another watchdog committee whose eyes and claws are meant to keep the executive in check. It is sick to imagine that a government-friendly PIC can perform that job. So tonight, my take is skeptical, not of the intentions of the politicians, but the effect of their actions on the health of our democracy.